quick numbers. 0.005 miles per hour change out of 60,000 miles an hour. At 7 to 8 rotations per hour, because we don't know the exact number and it changed, from an object that could be anywhere from 1,000 feet long to 750 feet long and 115 feet wide, or some other number because we don't know exactly, with an unknown composition, Oumuamua moved through our solar system at a variable speed rate. Its average was 26 kilometers per second. That's the average speed. It peaked at 87,000 kilometers per second, or 87,000 meters per second. But the average was 26,000 meters per second. It came from the piece of space where Vega is currently, but at the time it would have been in that area. Vega wasn't there, and neither was any other planet or star we know of. And it's on its way towards the Pegasus constellation as of now, but by the time it gets there, it won't be anywhere near any particular planet or star. And it just passed through an obviously populated star system, since we're soaking in it. And two other planets, if you're not aware of it, Venus and Mars, that could technically be colonized by any species that would go through here, and might be preferable to being on our planet loaded with bacteria that makes War of the Worlds have the outcome that it does. But based on fitting all of the data collected about this object that went through in a way that means that it came from nowhere in space where anything would probably have evolved towards an area where nothing is going to be there, if you want to believe in time-space anomalies here. Based on fitting data to a purely gravitational simulation that omitted solar flares, almost all of the planets, and myriad of other details, this object, Oumuamua, had an error, an anomaly, showing non-gravitationally induced acceleration that was said to be a specific value. But you may have noticed that the book you might have looked up to find this video doesn't tell you the exact value. So what is this anomaly that's worth writing books over and assuming that this is some sort of spaceship that didn't bother stopping in the only place anywhere that we even found out about that you could live at? But it must have accelerated away from us, towards a chunk of space with nothing in it. What is the amazing acceleration it did out of the 27 kilometers per second, or around 60,000 miles per hour? That acceleration is rather hard to look up, and I found 4 or 5 examples of it. Even the Wikipedia article doesn't tell you the number for it. And the only number that gets quoted is a specific number. Maybe it's numerological. 217. 217 what? I mean, the units are important. Well, it's a speed change. It's 0.217 millimeters per second out of 26,000 meters per second, out of an average 60,000 miles per hour movement speed. It's actually much more of a minor anomaly than this. It was an anomaly of 0.005 miles per hour, or 30 inches per hour, or 61 feet per day, or 4.25 miles per year of difference in how far it would move. Now that works out to 1 part in 120 million, a number that pops up in my head and rings bells immediately. That works out to 2 to the 27th or 2 to the 28th power, or 2 to the 25th power, with a single bit binary error accumulated by doing a math rounding, because you're using, again, a purely gravitational simulation that omitted whether or not our sun puts off, well, I don't know, solar flares or solar wind. It omitted the fact that they didn't know the composition, mass, or even the size of the damn thing accurately enough to be able to accommodate for 1 part in 120 million. This is an admitted error in other documents, but they don't mention the exact number. I'm only using the one that mentions this number. In fact, any number, and it's always the same thing, 0.217 millimeters per second. It's not even buried or hidden. And if you were doing, I don't know, 32-bit math on a Windows computer or even a Linux computer, a single bit rounding error, because the 32 bits are not used exclusively just for the entire binary value, they're also used for the multiplier. It might be expected that you might have literally a half-bit error where it just rounds it down and rounds it up that might cause this. This is information that was originally collected by using analog equipment that converts to digital. This is information based on us using limited equipment and stuff. But by all means, when you observe something in reality that doesn't match your model that you can fit onto a TI-85 calculator, by all means assume reality is distorted, instead of the fact that you're using a fucking pocket calculator's worth of precision. I'm not kidding, it's the same precision. To do the calculation, and you might have an error because you're making assumptions that ignore Jupiter, or the solar wind, or that there was a solar anomaly that day that was in the news. When it was going past the sun, it might have got a push from it. Or maybe that we just don't know how heavy it is and we just made a simple error because we don't fucking know what it's made out of. For some reason, even the Wikipedia article keeps bringing this up, even though the papers you look up have rebuttals in public that say you're looking at a rounding error of 1 part in 128 million. And you don't assume that would be a cumulative effect of doing things like rounding off the size of the Earth or rounding off the mass of the sun. The sun's mass and energy output fluctuate slightly. Its output fluctuates, people say, greatly, because they assume it, well, yeah, during solar flares, it does put off more material. Its mass doesn't really change much, but it does change. When you look it up, you have to look up the following quotes. Mysterious speed boost of which the value should be, in quotes, and above the prediction at perihelion. And then it mentions the number as 0.217 space mm/s, which is millimeters per second. That's not megameters per second, that's millimeters per second. In 7 minutes and 30 seconds, I've explained to you what you weren't told by people saying there's a significant speed change out of this. Thousandths of a mile per hour out of 60,000 is significant. A speed change, and I'm not kidding about this, I compared it. Snails move faster. There are some bacteria that propagate faster. Mold can grow faster than this under certain conditions. Dr. Avi Loeb has fanboys and doesn't like it when people point out that he simply made a really silly mountain out of literally not even a molehill. It's a grain of sand on a giant ocean. Someone posts, our solar system has a gravitational pull. I'm aware of that, but you're not going to get that answer out of any flat earther. Remember, there's more crazy people out there than you. Oumuamua went against it at great speed. 1/2000th of a mile an hour is a great speed change. Homeopathic math. It's not ice. It would have broken up by now from our star. Counterpoint, Halley's Comet begs to differ, or digs to biffer. I have been following Dr. Avi Loeb findings, and I will find a link. I'm sure you will. It has no outgassing. That doesn't change the fact that the sun is literally outgassing all the time. So much beans. It was definitely an alien ship or sail that went past a populated planet in a solar system with 3 technically populatable planets, actually even a moon that could be populated, from a hunk of space with nothing in it. At the time, it would have been launched if you're claiming it's a ship, and going towards another hunk of space that'll take millennia to get there and won't be anywhere near a star because that entire area it's headed towards is going to be blank. Slingshotting off of a solar system with life on it that would have been able to detect at the short distance it needed to be able to make a course change and change the way it did this loop-to-loop. And yes, there's a mathematical model, if it was a spaceship, what it could have done early on to get itself stuck into an orbit around this, the only solar system we've been able to find with life in it. Even if this was a robot ship, what the fuck point would it have to do this? To avoid a living planet? Okay, fine. Maybe it's a Death Star or a Doomsday weapon. It's the planet killer from Star Trek. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. That means it would look for a populated planet to blow the fuck up. If it's under some sort of alien control, you can't claim it's intelligent life. Maybe it's HAL. It's like, I'm sorry, we can't stay here. We have to go to the abyss towards Pegasus from the other abyss in Vega. The movement it showed before it hit our solar system matches the matter that is orbiting our galaxy. Our solar system isn't in a disc-shaped position like this compared to the galaxy. It's actually kind of tilted. So we're kind of floating this way. And some of the matter goes in opposite directions, but most of it goes with a flow. We're a little slower than some and a little faster than others. This thing going through our solar system made it wonky off to some other angle. Maybe it went into a better angle. I mean, I don't even know the exact... It's not relevant. Can't wait to buy his book. Dr. Avi Loeb confirms it's an alien technology by ignoring an anomaly he says is totally important by not telling you how tiny of an anomaly it is. But then again, it's 1,000 foot by 100 foot, maybe. The most extreme angle change, like a rocket or something. But it only has enough impulse energy to make it to where we can detect it. This is 1 part in 120 million. NASA hides all the science proving aliens exist, but they let you know about this. Totally consistent with extraterrestrial Earth's first encounter. New book. Yeah, I know. Oh, he's going to be on Event Horizon. Yeah, that's great. And they don't critically ask him, so how much of an anomaly was this? I posted the anomaly into their video. I'm going to get flagged. No one wants to point out that the glittering generality he made with the very obvious omission of what amount the anomaly had. Oh, well, that's not going to be frog's game. No, what's the anomaly? If you said an anomaly was detected, it has a value. Its value, again, out of 60,000 miles an hour, an anomaly of 0.0005 miles per hour, 30 inches per hour, 61 feet per day, or 4.25 miles per year on a journey that's going to take it way out of the galaxy eventually, I'm sure, at this point. But it went right past prime real estate. Even a farmable population of humans to eat. Frog's gay. This is from the same population that says this planet's being run by reptilians, but apparently they can't steer a ship correctly. Maybe they are NASA. Confirmations. It's alien technology. Frog's gay. Your spam has been deleted. We're all dumber for your posting. May God have mercy on your soul. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with it. Yeah, it's bullshit. The anomaly in this thing is so small, I'm surprised they even detected it. This is actually a sign of some scientists being honest about making an error, but not realizing that if reality doesn't match your presumptions, maybe your presumptions are wrong. That's what these equations are. They're presumptions. Yeah, it was actually caused by sunspot activity.